Fourth graders, we're moving on to Module 1, Lesson 12, and today we are going to be solving multi-step word problems using the standard addition algorithm, modeled with tape diagrams, and then we may be assessing the reasonableness of our answers using rounding. My goal is to get through at least 2 word problems, but if I think the video is getting too long, my goal is to get through 3 word problems, but if the video is getting too long, we'll stick to 2. All right, first one. I'm going to read the whole thing, and then I'm going to start solving it using a tape diagram for every sentence, or not necessarily a tape diagram. However, I'm going to see if each sentence I can draw some sort of model, which may be a tape diagram. So we have a story about a flower shop selling flowers, roses in particular. The city flower shop sold 14,594 pink roses on Valentine's Day. They sold 7,857 more red roses than pink roses. How many pink and red roses did the city flower shop sell all together on Valentine's Day? Use a tape diagram. All right, going back to the word problem, let's start with the first sentence. The city flower shop sold 14,594 pink roses. So first thing, I'm going to draw a tape diagram for that. And I'm going to label it pink. Next, I'm going to move on to the next sentence. They sold 7,857 more red than pink. So if they sold that much more than the pink, I'm going to start, my tape diagram will be just as long as my pink, but I'm going to tag on a box that's going to represent 7,857, and this will be the same number as my pink roses because they sold this much more. Okay, how many pink and red roses did they sell all together? So they don't just want to know the total of the red, which we will have to figure out. They want to know the total all together of all the pink and red roses. So I'm going to use a variable f. I'm going to be looking for f, the total flowers. In order to solve this, you could do it 2 different ways. There's usually many ways to solve a math problem, and everybody uses different strategies. You could start with pink roses and add your 14,594 to that and start with those 2. Or maybe you're more like me, where you kind of want to know the total of red roses that they sold, and then you want to add that to your pink roses. But we're just going to be doing addition today. So let's start with 14,594 plus 7,857. Notice how I'm lining up those digits. Ones, tens, hundreds, commas, thousands, and 10,000s are all lined up. Okay, so starting with the ones. I'm going to move kind of slow on this, so if you can beat me to the next digit by adding, go ahead and do that. 7 plus 4 equals 11. Regroup the 1. 9 plus 5 equals 14. Plus 1 equals 15. I'm going to cross that off now that I've used it. 8 plus 5 equals 13. Plus 1 equals 14. Regroup that 1,000. Cross off the 1 in the hundreds that you used. 7 plus 4 is 11. Plus 1 equals 12. Regroup the 10,000. 1 plus 1 equals 2. We get a final answer of 22,451 red roses. And I like to come over here and go ahead and label that place value, or that tape diagram, just so I remember that the total for red is 22,451. All right, now that we know the total for red, we need to add the pink roses to that to figure out the total of the pink and the red. So again, lining up those digits, lining up the commas. Now, I did just stack this right underneath my answer. This isn't necessarily the appropriate way to do it for math, but because I'm running out of room, this is what worked for me. 4 plus 1 equals 5. 5 plus 9 equals 14. Regroup the 1 in the hundreds. 5 plus 4 equals 9. Plus 1 equals 10. Regroup the thousands. 2 plus 4 equals 6. Plus 1 equals 7. 2 plus 1 equals 3. And bring your comma down. 37,045. Now you guys should remember that read, draw, write strategy. I read the problem, I drew a tape diagram, I wrote an equation, now I need to write my statement. The question was, how many pink and red roses did the city flower shop sell altogether? So I'm going to see if I can use this space at the bottom here to write my statement. The city flower shop sold 37,045 pink and red roses. Now I shouldn't spell anything wrong in my statement because I have the word pink up in my question, I have the word red up in my question, I have the word roses, I have the word flower, I have the word shop. If you wanted to include the word altogether, the city flower shop sold 37,045 pink and red roses all together, you would look right at the question, you'd be able to spell that as well. Alright guys, we're at 7 minutes and about 37 seconds, so let's move on to the next one. Alright, this story is about selling some bus tickets. It's a 2-step word problem, and we will be using tape diagrams. And we will be thinking about if our answer is reasonable. On Saturday, 32,736 more bus tickets were sold than on Sunday. On Sunday, only 17,295 tickets were sold. How many people bought the bus tickets over the weekend? So a weekend includes Saturday and Sunday. Use a tape diagram to show your work. Alright, let's look at the problem again. They're selling bus tickets for 2 days of the week, Saturday and Sunday. It told us that on Saturday, 32,736 more tickets were sold. So Saturday must have been a busier day. So I'm going to go ahead. Actually, it would make more sense to read my next statement. On Sunday, only 17,295 tickets were sold. So I think what I'd like to do is I'd like to start with my tape diagram for Sunday and then build on from that. So Sunday they sold 17,295 tickets. But then on Saturday they sold this many more. So I'm going to have to start with my Sunday number and then add on a tape diagram with that many more tickets. You'll notice that my tape diagram got really large, and that is because the number that they sold on Saturday is a lot larger, the more than number. 32,000 is a lot greater than 17,000. So they sold this much more than on Sunday. So I have to take those two numbers and add them together to find the total. The last question says, how many people bought tickets over the weekend? So they're not just asking about Saturday or Sunday. They want to know over the weekend, meaning both days together, Saturday and Sunday. So again, you could solve this two different ways. You could figure out the total for Saturday by adding 17,295 plus 32,736, or you could start by adding your two 17,000 numbers and then adding your 32,736 later. I am going to go ahead and shrink my tape diagrams down so that I have a little extra space to work here. I think I'm going to start by adding Saturday together. Oh, I forgot to do one more thing. I forgot to label. I'm going to label this, let's see, B for bus tickets. Total amount of bus tickets. I think I'd like to figure out the total amount that they made on Saturday, that they sold on Saturday. So let's start with that. 17,295 plus 32,736. Okay, 5 plus 6 equals 11. Regroup the 1. 9 plus 3 equals 12. Plus 1 equals 13. Regroup the 1. Cross that 1 off since I'm done with it. 2 plus 7 equals 9. Plus 1 equals 10. Put a 0. Regroup the 1. 7 plus 2 equals 9. Plus 1 equals 10 again. 0. Regroup the 1. 1 plus 3 equals 4. Plus 1 equals 5. Bring your comma down. So the total amount of red roses is 50,031. Now I have to take that and add it to Sunday's tickets that were bought. 17,295. 1 plus 5 equals 6. 3 plus 9 equals 12. Regroup the 1. 0 plus 2 plus 1 equals 3. 0 plus 7 equals 7. 5 plus 1 equals 6. 67,326. Okay. Now let's think about something real quick. If I were to round 17,000. Let's say I was rounding it to the nearest thousands place. This 2 would tell the 7 to stay the same. So it'd be about 17,000. Right? And I have 2 of those 17,000s, and I'm adding all of these together. So I'm going to add another 17,000. And then let's round our 32,000. Well, that's the 7 in the hundreds place would tell that 2 to round up. So we're going to round that up to 33,000, and the rest becomes zeros. Let's see what our answer would be. This is checking our reasonableness to see if this answer makes sense. 0, 0, 0. 7 plus 7 is 14, plus 3 is 17. Regroup the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 3 is 5, plus 1 is 6. So we get an estimate of about 67,000. Is that close to 67,326? It sure is, because if we rounded to the thousands place, that 3 would tell that 7 to stay down low, so it would round to 67,000. So that's checking the reasonableness of our answer, and our answer is reasonable based off of our estimate of 67,000. Alright guys, we are going to stop there so that you can do some word problems on your problem set. Good luck!